Hi guys, so far we've looked at modules, and as we know, a module is a piece of code that does something specific. They can be reused. Today I want to look at functions. A function is a special kind of module. It's different because it returns a value to the module that calls it. So because of that, we can actually use what is returned by the function as the value of a variable. So let's try a function that returns the number of tax the contractor might have paid for a month. Sometimes we pay taxes, right? Had a good month. You're like, let me pay taxes so I can reduce my tax bill. So I'm going to create this module right here. Let me do it right here because I'll be calling it in the, uh, let's see, I will call it in the total tax calc module. So we call it, so it's a function and it will return a real value, which is the total tax paid. So I will call it tax paid. And then I will have it take a string, which is the type of tax. So state tax or federal tax. And I will, inside of it, have declare variable of type real amount paid. Then I will ask the user, did you pay any taxes this month? If so, please enter the amount here. And then I input amount paid. Then I return amount paid. Then end function. So this function takes the type of tax, whether it's state tax, federal tax that was paid that month, and it asks the user, how much did you pay? Or did you pay? Enter the amount, inputs the amount, and returns that amount. So I am going to create two variables here inside of the total tax calc module, since it's the one that returns the total sales tax and the total federal tax. So what I'm going to do is I want two variables of type real, state tax paid, federal tax paid, and then this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do state tax paid equal to, followed by the module we just created, tax paid. And since it's state tax, I'm going to do state in here. Let's remove my uppercase. And then federal tax paid equal to tax paid. And in order to personalize the function a little more, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna incorporate the tax type in the display. Did you pay any type? So if it's state tax, it will say, did you pay any state taxes this month? If it's federal tax, it will say, did you pay any federal tax this month? All right. Then when the user enters, it returns that value, assigns to state tax paid, federal tax paid. So that means we have to minus that amount from the state tax since the user already paid it, and then minus here from the federal tax. So what I will do is let me create the function first of all. So add function, tax paid, and the parameters, tax type, it's a string, and it's a function. So of course it returns a value. Amount paid is the return variable. And then in here, we do the display portion. So output, and our concatenation operator, which is the ampersand in Flogorithm. If so, please enter the amount. Let me see, what did I do? Oh, so used to my little comma in my pseudocode. And then we input amount paid, and of course the return is already there because Flogorithm knows it's a function. And then we go into our module, our total tax calc module, and then we need to incorporate this right before the tax calculation here. So we need two reals. I'm gonna add them here since we already have these declarations. State tax paid, federal tax paid. And then here we do this. We assign state tax paid equal to, and this is how we call the function in this case. So the value of the tax paid that it returns is going to be assigned to state tax paid. And then we do the same. We need another assignment for federal. It will be equal to tax paid federal. And of course, we have to minus, so we need to alter these assignments. So here it will be minus state tax paid. And here minus federal tax paid. We run this. See if everything works out like we want to. I'm gonna say 2 months to make it short. Let's say I made $10,000 that first month. I have two children. I paid state taxes. I paid 500. You know what? Let me do maybe let's say 100. And then federal, I also paid 100. Well, let me do 200. Right? So your total state tax is 300. Your total federal tax is 350. Your balance left over, left off, well, after taxes is $7,340. And then it's asking for month two. I will say I paid 7,000 for month two. Of course, two kids. And I paid 50 state tax, 100. Yep. So your total state tax is 200. Your total federal tax is 250. Your total tax is 450. Your balance left off after taxes is $4,550. All right. So that's it. And of course, we know that it's that amount because we're assuming that we are minusing the $2,000 from the total sales, sorry. So the taxable income is what is lowered in this case. So in this case, if we minus 2,000 from the 7,000, our new taxable income is 5,000. Just verifying. Thank you.